What's going on, guys? Back. It's very late this evening. Been to Chicago, been to South Louisiana, been to Southeast Texas, and while I was gone, some stuff came in. So we got a package from PerfumeOnline.ca. We're going to bust it open. It's a nice little haul. So stay tuned. First and foremost, I'd like to thank PerfumeOnline.ca for sending these my way so I'm able to give you guys my thoughts. If you're not familiar with PerfumeOnline.ca, they are Canada's #1 discount site, and they do offer a lot of fantastic prices on cheap, designer, niche, Middle Eastern, you name it, they probably have it at the best prices on the internet or extremely competitive prices from all across the internet. So definitely check them out in the links below if you're interested in anything you see today. Let's get into this. All right. Let's bust this box open. Well packaged, large amount of bubble wrap. And we have Salvatore Ferragamo Intense Leather. Been wanting to get that one. We have Le Male Le Parfum. I had a decan of this. Been wanting to get that one. And then we also have somewhat of a hype beast that I really wanted to try. From Lattafa, we have Asad, which is supposed to be a great, super cheap alternative to Sauvage Elixir. So I'm going to bust these three open and we'll check them out. So we'll start with the one I'm most excited about with Ferragamo Intense Leather. So I'm a big fan of the original. This is supposed to be kind of like earthy, and I think there's a little bit of iris to it. So I'm very, very curious about this fragrance. It is a different color hue of blue on the glass. So it's slightly different, but overall pretty similar to the original's bottle. Let's give it a spray and see what we're working with. They do have great atomizers. It's definitely an earthy floral smell. Very, very leathery. A little dirty. It's different. And there's a little bit of like a metallic freshness. I don't remember the notes. I don't know if violet leaf is in here, but that would tie it to the original's DNA because it's a violet leaf heavy fragrance. And I do get a little bit of... This is a weird one. I've never smelled this before. And I don't just mean this fragrance. Like, this scent profile is different. It doesn't remind me of anything. Like, literally nothing. This is an acquired taste fragrance. This is a designer that's kind of taking somewhat of a niche approach. And what I mean by that, like making something a little different off the beaten path, kind of like how Gucci does a lot of the times, where they make something that can be quite polarizing. I think this is a polarizing scent profile. Something spicy in the backdrop. Could just be the leather, but it's kind of giving this spicy, edgy tone to it. But it's definitely earthy. Has almost like a dirt smell to it with leather. A little bit of metallic tone at the top. This one's strange. This is a weird fragrance. I can see some people really being turned off by this. Absolutely can see some people not liking this one. Oh, it's just getting better and better as it settles down, though. I gotta say, it's on the unique side. It doesn't come across as some earthy vetter. It literally has like this soil, dirt type of smell to it. As strange as that, like almost potting soil in many ways. That's kind of weird. But it's oddly attractive. It's such a strange fragrance, and it's a strange way I'm describing it and being happy about it at the same time. I'm sure this is very odd to watch and listen to. I think the leather's saving it. If the leather wasn't here, I think it would be an awful fragrance. It's a nice leather note. It's a little edgy, not too rough and tumble, not a heavy animalic tone. Doesn't have a rawhide smell to it. It's calming down. We'll let it develop. We'll let it dry down. Let's check out another fragrance. So, Le Male Le Parfum. Big fan of this one. I know what it smells like. This is the 4.2 ounce bottle. Like I said, I had a decant of it. Beautiful, beautiful iris fragrance. I don't remember the notes specifically, but iris is the main player here. It's a little warm. It's powdery. Good spray on my hand that actually went on my finger as well. This is what I would recommend. So I know a lot of people are digging Armani Code Parfum, and while it is nice, I think if you're looking for a newer Iris designer fragrance, I think this one is so much better than Armani Code Parfum. Some of you may disagree with me. That's okay. Everybody has their taste, but I think this is a better fragrance. It's a nice warmth, spice. It's sweet, but not too sweet. I'm sure there's a tonka bean note in here as well. Maybe vanilla instead, giving this... It does have a vanilla tonka bean kind of smell, so it's either vanilla or tonka bean. The iris here is a little lipstick heavy, but not like lipstick waxy makeup smell like Dior Homme, for example. And I think it's more of a soapy powder bomb with the way the iris is done in Armani Code Parfum. Like I said, I like this one so much more. This is such a great fragrance. Oh, this smells so good. I'm so happy to have a bottle of this now. If you haven't tried this and you're a fan of Iris, you are missing out. This is great. This is a great Iris designer fragrance. A little bit of that Le Male DNA. It's not a direct Parfum flanker. Like Armani Code kind of went the route they did. This came out beforehand where they kind of added Iris. You know what I mean? Made a different fragrance while calling it a Le Parfum. The Parfum. This is so good. So good. Definitely get your nose on this one, guys. We'll let that dry down as well. And then one more to spray and opening for Lattafa Asad. So I believe this one's in the low $20 price point. I've heard different things. My buddy Aromatics has told me a little bit about it. Shout out to Neeb. Interesting looking bottle. Lattafa logo on the top. I've been impressed with Lattafa, but I guess we'll see what's what here. There we go with where it says Asad. There we go. So let's give it a spray on this. I have the bracelets over here, so this should be good. Definitely reminds me of Sauvage Elixir, but not exactly. It's almost like a little bit of a fruitiness to it. Yeah, it's aromatic. It's warm and spicy and woody. There's like a fruity tone to it, though, so it's not one-to-one. Kind of like how Camra is, where it doesn't smell exactly like Angel Share, but you know that's the route they were going. I think it's the same thing here. This reminds me of Sauvage Elixir, but I don't think it's the same thing at all. It's got its own little thing going while still having a heavy dose of what Sauvage Elixir is about. This has more of a freshness to it. It's fresher than Sauvage Elixir. Definitely warm, spicy, and woody with an aromatic top. A little soapy. Has a little bit of a soapy feel. Tying into that spice, kind of toning back the spice a little bit. Smells strong. It doesn't come across as crazy strong as Alexandria's version or actual Sauvage Elixir. But I think this was like 23 bucks. This is the cheapest option. It smells pretty damn close. Doesn't smell cheap. I'll let this one dry down too, but so far I'm actually quite impressed. This is a little bit different the way I would describe this one upon first impression in the top. Is picture Sauvage Elixir with a little bit of like some fruity freshness at the top. Okay, so Ferragamo Intense Leather has had time to dry down a little bit. Oh, the dry down is so, well, the heart and early dry down is so much better than the top. The top's strange. I did kind of oddly like it though. This has a little bit of a fruity tone as well. Let's pull the notes up on this one. So I have Parfumo up. I'll put it up on screen for you guys. So there is some citrus. It's mandarin orange, pink pepper, and clary sage absolute. They have some apple, lily of the valley, and iris in the heart, oak moss, leather, earthy notes, and musk. So you definitely get a lot of these earthy notes, moss, leather, musk. Like all the base notes are definitely there. The iris and that fruitiness. It must be the apple because I don't get a bunch of the top. Like there's some spice at the top that had to be the pink pepper. I didn't get a bunch of sage or anything like that. That's probably what was providing the aromatic tone, but it's mostly apple, leather, and earthy notes, like this dirt smell. It has settled down nicely, but there's, like I said, a little bit of that fruity freshness going on now. It's actually a little fruity sweet more so than fruity fresh. It's actually quite nice. Seems pretty linear though. I don't think it's going to change drastically from where it is now. I could be wrong. That apple note probably will fade more and more as time persists, but this one's actually really, really nice. I think because it's a little different, it's going to go 7.5 out of 10. Still very good, not quite great, but bordering it. That's where it gets the extra half a point because it's a little different. But still has kind of a mass appeal to it as it dries. Like there's something inviting about it, but something a little strange at the same time. So kudos to Salvatore Ferragamo. Actually pretty nice. Next we have Le Male Le Parfum. My favorite in this video. Beautiful stuff. I've reviewed this one already. I'll have the notes on screen for you guys. Cardamom, lavender, iris, vanilla, and oriental woods, according to Parfumo. A lot of lavender and iris. The vanilla is what it is. I knew it was either going to be vanilla or tonka bean. I couldn't remember off the top of my head, but it's a little warm. The woodiness is starting to come in a lot more now that it's drying. This, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is a must-try. If you like designer level iris fragrances where they have kind of that waxy or soapy, powdery feel, if you like those types of irises, not so much the earthy type of irises, more of the natural Florentine iris. If you like the more designer type irises, this is one of the better ones I've smelled in quite some time. There's a few really good ones that have come out in the last few years, and this is definitely one of them. So good, but not too powdery, at least not to my taste. I have iris fragrances that are much more powdery than this one. This one kind of balances it just right. A little bit of spice, a little bit of warmth, fresh pop up top with some lavender. Cardamom kind of almost has like a minty feel, and then it starts to warm up and get spicier as it starts to dry. But this is a gorgeous fragrance. This is an 8.5 out of 10. I think that's what I gave it with the review. But I mean, it's great. It's a fantastic fragrance. Like I said, a must try. Okay, Lattafa Asad. Let's see what we're working with here. Very spicy. A little strange. A little different. Okay, so I have the notes pulled up. This is the fruitiness. So remember I said there was a little kind of a fruity freshness going on. According to Parfumo, the top is black pepper, pineapple, and tobacco. That's an odd top. The pineapple is that fruity freshness I was talking about. The heart notes is coffee, patchouli, and iris. The base notes are amber, vanilla, dry woods, benzoin, and labdanum. So far from Sauvage Elixir's note breakdown. I would say this is every bit of like 70% of Sauvage Elixir. There's a lot of differences here. Most namely this tobacco pineapple combo and then the coffee and the heart. Iris instead of lavender. It's different, but I think that's a good thing. There's going to be some redundancy here still if you have other fragrances that smell like Sauvage Elixir or Sauvage Elixir. There's going to be some redundancy, but if you want kind of a little bit of a twist, maybe Sauvage Elixir, there was something missing from it for you, and you want to save a bunch of money because it's really, really cheap, you might want to check this one out. This is pretty damn good. It's drying down beautifully. It's got a little bit of an earthy tone. I don't really get the iris, but I got that pineapple up top. It's nice and spicy. It's woody. It's ambery. I actually think this was great. I think it's great. Asad is an 8 out of 10. This is one worth checking out. In fact, I think I'm going to wear this tomorrow, the day this video goes live. I think this is going to be my scent of the day. I'm pretty impressed with this one. I actually quite like it. Well, that's the 3 fragrances that I got in from PerfumeOnline.ca. Once again, thank you to Perfume Online for sending these my way so I can spend some time with them, talk about them with you guys. I'm going to be wearing Lattafa Asad tomorrow. As a matter of fact, stay tuned for some reviews and so on. I'm actually planning on doing a iris-related video. That is why I was interested in getting this one in, because it's amazing and wanted to add to my collection. But until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have tried any of these 3, and what do you think about them? Did anything you hear and this first impression spark your interest. If you'd like to hear more details about Le Male Le Parfum, type in TLTG Le Male Le Parfum in the search bar. The video will come up. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these three and you give them a spray now, pretty confident you'll thank me later, because they all have some merit, something different about them, and they're all pretty damn impressive. Have a good one, guys.